So what you're looking at is my last meal in the Philippines, because today I'm going to Japan. I talked about this meal before, so I'm not really going to explain what it is, but what I'm going to talk about is what I'm going to do after I eat this. And it's very simple. After eating this, we're going straight to the airport and fly to our first stop, which is the city of Osaka. It kind of sucks that our flight is in the afternoon, meaning we'll be in Osaka at night. I was hoping to catch an earlier flight so we'd have more time to do things when we get there, but unfortunately that's not the case. So when we get there, it will be around 9 p.m. and hopefully we can find a restaurant that's still open to have a late dinner.
Ano yan?
Olympic.
Hotel?
Ha?
Hotel ba yan? Ginagawa?
Hindi ko alam. Parang siguro. Condo?
Since Manila is full of traffic, they constructed a lot of skyways or freeways like this to get around the traffic. I believe if we didn't use this, what should take around 15 to 20 minutes would have probably been an hour just to get to the airport. It's also pretty cool to use it because you get to see this, which is the skyline of Makati City.
Paano yan, boy? Meron din kayo nakukuha mga pasahero dito or tinatawag pa rin sa ano yan, ano?
Tinatawag pa rin.
Tawag pa rin, ano?
Depende din sa...
The Ninoy Aquino International Airport is, I believe, the only international airport in Manila, and it's named after this guy, who happens to be a local hero. His death pretty much sparked the Philippine Revolution in the 80s. If you didn't know, this is my brother and his wife. I'm so glad they were able to come because a few days ago my brother got sick and I thought I was going to do this trip on my own. I'm glad they made it. Checking in wasn't that bad. It was actually fast, so we didn't have to rush to get to our gate. I wish it was always like this. It actually makes you want to travel more. Right here, I'm just thinking, why are we on a small plane? I always thought planes should be a little bit bigger during international flights. When they gave us our lunch, I found out that we had to order this in advance because the food comes separately. I think I remember my sister-in-law asked me what I wanted before she booked this a few months ago. Anyway, this is chicken glazed with salted egg. I never had this before and it sure doesn't look appetizing. I'm just hoping the chicken is cooked.
Apple juice. This is chicken. Salted eggs, chicken.
You tried this.
Right here is my brother's lunch. It looks like beef patty served with rice. I'm not so sure what it's called, but I'm about 95% sure it's beef. But one thing I know for sure, it looks better than my chicken.
That's salted eggs. This is chicken. It's kind of soggy.
It's crazy how it's crunchy and soggy at the same time. If they were going with that, then they nailed it.
My brother gave me some of his food.
I think my sister-in-law has the same as what I have.
Let's try. Let's try.
Now I remember as I'm looking at this, it has some kind of garlic sauce like what you put on a kebab. So I think this is sort of like a beef kebab. The beef was way better than the chicken. It has a lot more flavor. This was pretty cool. After we ate, the crew had a little game for the passengers.
Okay, and for our second winner, who can give us an example of a place with a new word in it? Congratulations to our second winner. The correct answer is New York. Again, congratulations, and down to our last winner, who can give us an example. Who can give us an example of a song?
Now, I'm not sure about that last question, but we finally arrived at Osaka. The first thing we needed to do was hop on a tram to take us to the main airport, and from there convert our money into yen. Because after doing some research, most restaurants or shops in Japan, especially outside Tokyo, doesn't accept credit cards, so it's really essential to have some cash handy if you are here.
Inside, we're in Osaka now. We're gonna change our money right there. But first, we need to get to the IC Pass.
The IC Pass is something I'll talk about later, because right now changing money is what we really need to do first.
Now I'm gonna change my money right here. Changing my money. Got my yen.
After that, another essential thing you definitely should get is this, an internet wireless router. You rent this depending on how many days you're staying, and in our case, 7 days, which was about $50. I think having internet when you travel makes things a lot easier. Just think about it.
Getting our IC cards.
Now about the IC cards. You really need to do some research about this because there are many types of IC cards depending on where you are going to travel. IC cards are prepaid cards used mostly for transportation around Japan. And Japan's subway system is really complicated because multiple companies owns the trains. So some cards might not work for certain trains. And based on where we're going to travel, this is the card we need.
Damn it, I missed it. Stupid.
I really wanted to film how the card works, but you just basically place the card on the scanner. Once you hear it beep, that means it read the card, and there's this little monitor that shows how much money you still have on the card every time it reads it. After 50 minutes on the train, we finally made it to Namba Station where our hotel is located. It's actually a walking distance from the station. When we got to the hotel, the first thing my sister-in-law did was to use the vending machine which Japan is known for. I was hoping it would be those weird ones with french fries or ramen soup, but it was just your regular vending machine.
And then I want this one. I want this one.
Okay, get your drink and
That's the room. Damn it. Opening in. Ooh, look at my room. What's this? Let's see this. The toilet. The Japanese toilet. Damn, this is pretty small. That's it. Then we're gonna go out and have dinner.
It's really nice that our hotel is located close to the train station and to this place. It's called the Namba Hondori. It's close to the Dotonbori area, which is famous for entertainment, food, and shops. I'm not really sure what the difference between them are, because Dotonbori literally is a block away from here. Anyway, we plan to go to Dotonbori tomorrow, but for now, since it's late and we're really hungry, we decided to find a restaurant here before they all close for the night.
We'll go.
We didn't want to spend a lot of time looking around, so we settled on this place. This is really common here to purchase your order through the vending machine, and it's normally located right when you enter the restaurant.
I got mine.
I was expecting that everything here is in Japanese, and that we'll have a hard time ordering or communicating, but surprisingly they have English translations for almost everything. The subway, restaurant menus. I'm not saying English is a second language here, but it's just not what I was expecting. I thought it was going to be harder.
There it is.
After we finished ordering, we gave them the receipt, and all we had to do is just wait for the food.
Cook in there.
Right now, to me, everything here is just amazing. Maybe it's because I've watched so many videos about Japan before I came here, so I'm a little brainwashed. For example, this Japanese green tea. I'm thinking when I taste this, it will just blow my mind. But it's just green tea. Anyway, after waiting for a few minutes, I finally got my food. I'm not sure what it's called because I based my decision on the pictures. All I know is that this is a Japanese rice bowl with eggs, seaweed, and what looks like beef. And they're all simmered together. Oh, and it also came with a side of miso soup. As I dig into this, I notice that it also has some onions, and the egg is just cooked the way I like it. This actually reminds me of Yoshinoya. It's a fast food chain that serves this kind of bowls, but without the egg. But this looks and smells way better. I'm mixing it right now because it's very hot, which I don't mind because it's freezing outside. So for my first bite, I want to make sure I have everything in it. But now that I'm looking at this, the meat looks more like pork, like bacon almost. It's really hard to tell, but I'm leaning towards pork, just because it looks like bacon.
Eggs.
This is not coming from someone who was brainwashed by all those Japanese videos I was talking about, but this is just amazing. Okay, maybe I'm hungry, but seriously, till this day, I can still remember how good this was. I didn't even thought about adding soy sauce or shoyu, but I did notice this though. It's pickled ginger. I mostly like a lot of ginger on sushi, but this will do as well.
Some ginger in my food. More ginger. So good.
How is it?
So good. Wow.
The pork or beef is a little stringy. I think it's meant to be that way, but it works. It gives a good contrast of texture between the rice, the egg, and the meat. I read somewhere that every restaurant in Japan that serves miso soup doesn't have the same taste. They are all different. Now, I've had miso soup before and this one tastes the same. Maybe I'm not just that experienced in distinguishing the taste, but honestly, it's the same.
So it has eggs. I think it's raw eggs or something. It's really good.
As I mindlessly devoured this food, I realized I didn't even bother to see what my brother and sister-in-law ordered. So I gave it a quick look before they finish it.
She had noodles and some soup. Wow. Looks pretty good. Eggs and there's an egg, right? No? Oh. It's my brother. What are you having, bro? Done.
I think it was past midnight after we finished eating. We wanted to walk around some more, or at least I did. But most of the shops are closed. So we decided to walk back to our hotel.
Thank you. Thank you.
Let's have our photo taken here, dude.
Ooh. It's good food. I'm sweating, dude. Look at that. I'm sweating. It's hot in there. I guess they take out their trash at midnight because it's midnight right now. That's pretty cool. We're in front of a Burger King. That's funny. Only Burger King can have this much trash. Look at all the vending machines here. So nice.
As we were walking back to our hotel, my brother and sister-in-law decided to stop by a local convenience store to grab something and take back to the hotel.
24 hours open. Family Mart. Let's see what's inside. Whoa. That. All sorts of convenience store food. 70年代からツアーによってワンアンドオンリーのポジションを確立してきた浜田省吾の2015年16年のツアーを元にしたコンセプチュアルライブ映像が初の全国映画館にて上映され、コンサート会場の興奮を I think they fry stuff here. 全国の映画館が新しい音楽空間に変わる。チケットは店内のリポートで発売中。1年の締めくくりで開かれる忘年会また新年会と自然とお酒を飲む機会も増えますよね。そんな時におすすめしたいのがソルマックパイプです。特徴としてソルマックシリーズで初めての食前タイプ向こう最大量 1000mg の Cans of beer. So beer. Oh man, I think I'm gonna come back to Japan, dude. Okay.
What you're doing?
Okay.
Bought some dessert at a convenience store.
Yeah, you better give this a try, Pete.
Oh, what is that?
I don't know.
Here's some spoon. Go.
Okay.
Pete, I think you need...
No, go ahead, go ahead.
Try.
Share na lang kami ni John yung spoon.
Go ahead.
Here, you try it also, Pete.
Ah, look at that.
Strawberry.
Ooh.
Pete, try.
Yum, 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 yum. Missing it.
Try it. It's just jelly. Jelly lang
Jelly.
siya. Yeah, hindi, it's not even sweet. It's like a jelly lang. It's like a jelly lang.
Oh yeah.
Wala.
Have some more. Have some more.
Gusto lang
It's like
namin
jelly.
mag-dessert.
It's actually good.
Yeah, it's
Set
good.
up.
Here.
Let's see yours.
Open more.
Let's see yours. What is that?
Don't know.
Milk?
Yeah, and then you better taste it first also. Kasi mamaya tunaw na to.
Oh wow.
Oh, this looks
Oh,
good.
parang ano
It's like
siya.
milk.
Yeah.
Go.
Yeah, go ahead.
Fire.
Come
Fire
on.
me. I don't have a spoon. Then Janet will go next.
Sige, Janet. Go ahead.
Wow.
Oh damn. That's...
Wow. I think it is lata de coco. Sa ilalim.
Is it?
Yeah. Ay, may kaong. You get this one. Yan, may kaong eh.
Oh yeah. Actually,
Oh yeah.
this is better.
Yeah.
I get to try this
it.
This is
Try it.
meron siyang ano, yung distinct taste.
Sarap.
Wow.
I guess you have some dessert.
Just keep digging.
This one is very light.
I'm gonna get a good bite. Let's see. How's it?
Kasi wala masyado siya.
It's better. Look at this. So nice. Such a nice place.
So far, Osaka looks really nice, even though we haven't really seen anything yet. But tomorrow, we plan to explore as much as we can because we only have one day here in Osaka before we go to Kyoto.